Hello! So today's video is going to be something that I feel like I should have filmed like a year ago or 2 years ago, but I'm basically going to be going through my top, I was trying to do top 5 but we're at 6, like favourite cream and liquid blushes, because I love my cream and liquids these days. I feel like a lot of us do, like the past year or two, it's just been creams, they've just taken over completely. So like I said, I've got 6, like my top favourites. I feel like I've tested like a fair amount to be able to do this video now, and I'm just going to go through my personal favourites, the ones that I like for my skin. My skin is dry and I like products that are like a little bit moisturising, a bit hydrating, and I like my skin to always have a glow of some sort, whether it's from my blush, my foundation, whatever it is. These are just my favourites. If there's any here that you don't like or don't work for you, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, these are just the ones that work for me and that I personally really like. I'm going to talk about formulas, I'll show you swatches, and just kind of what I think about them, how they apply on the skin and everything like that. So if there's any here that you really love, let me know, leave me a comment. I'm always here for trying new ones. So that's it. Just relax and enjoy the video. Grab your beverage as well. I just have water today. Coffee has been drank. So I'm going to talk about kind of, I'd probably say the first ever like cream slash liquids I ever actually tried, and these are the I was gonna say Rare Beauty, oh my god, the Flower Beauty blush bombs. And I was so pleasantly surprised because, as anyone would be, when I first started out like using whether it was cream bronzers or cream blushes, I feel like bronzers was kind of first for me, but when it came to blushes, I was, like anyone would be the first time trying anything, I was skeptical and I was scared that I was just gonna mess it up. And these probably were like the best first cream blushes I could try, if that makes sense, because they were just so easy to work with. I love these. I have 3 different shades. I feel like I want some more shades. I feel like I want to add like a pink one to the ones that I've already got, but I don't know what's going on with Flower Beauty these days. Like in the UK we used to be able to get them at Superdrug. They've all disappeared. There's no stand with them on anymore, and I don't know where. I might need to look around, maybe Amazon or something, but I don't know where we can get Flower anymore, which is kind of sad. These are the 3 favourite shades that I have. The first one is Nectar. This is like a light like peachy orange. Really love wearing this in the summer. And then I have my favourite one, which is Pinch. This is more of like a it's got like a warmer, like rosy nude undertone to this one. I love this one so much. This was my favourite. It's definitely my most used one. And then we have the one that I like to use more like autumn, like winter time. This is Cinnamon, and this is that like nice rich kind of brown. This is so pigmented and looks so scary when you put it onto your skin, but they blend out so easily. They're so like liquidy and kind of watery in the best way, where it just blends out into nothing. I'd say that the formula is kind of like a serum consistency, and I really love them. I think if you're starting out with like liquids or creams, these are a really good way to go. And I do like the packaging, to be honest. I like that it's a dropper because you can kind of control how much product you're getting out. It's just the caps are clear, so you can kind of see the mess in there a little bit. That's just me being very, very picky. But yeah, that's my thoughts on these. Really love these. Okay, next. The e.l.f. putty products are just so good. Cream bronzers also are really good, and the blushes. I feel like the formula is consistent with that through like all the shades, and even with the bronzers I find like they blend as easily and just are just as good as the blushes. And what I like about these as well is that they have matte ones, which were like the original ones that they came out with, and then they have the new luminous ones. Obviously the luminous ones are my favourite, but I just wanted to let you know in case you have like oily skin, or if you just prefer more of a matte look, they just have the regular ones. So I don't know if I have the shade name of this one. I'm pretty sure this one is Turks and Caicos. I will need to double check, but this is just the original putty blush, because it didn't have like the shade name on, I don't think. Like I said, check the description box if you want to know shades, because I'll find it correctly for when I post the video. But this is the one that I think is Turks and Caicos. This one is just the original one. Obviously I prefer the dewy ones. They're very easy to blend. They can be extremely pigmented, so I always start off like small. It's always best to start off with less and then build on it, instead of swirling your brush in and going like too heavy and too harsh and then being like, oh shit, there's too much on my face, because you can always add on product. It's always more difficult to take away. Start off like less and then just gradually build it. But these are very buildable and I don't find them overly pigmented, but like I said, I go in with a very light hand anyway. So yeah, these are very creamy. I find them really easy to blend. I don't have any problems with these like going over powders as well. Same with the flower ones, especially like these ones I can use powder first and then go over with these, absolutely fine. There's no lifting. To be fair, with all the ones that I'm talking about, I won't repeat it throughout all of them, but all of the products that I'm talking about today, for me, I've never had a problem with any like foundation or any powders that I've used lifting or separating on the skin. Nothing goes patchy. I've just had a really good experience with all of these, hence why they're in this video. So yeah, these e.l.f. ones are really, really good. The formula is so creamy. And yeah, this one is probably my favorite. I genuinely think this is like a holy grail for me now. This is the shade Maui. This is one of the luminous ones. So this one leaves a glow. You put it at an angle and look at it closely, you can see glitter in there. But when you put it on your face, like I'm wearing Maui today, by the way, sorry, I've got the Rare Beauty highlight on, so I've got a lot going on. But I do have Maui on my cheeks today. And to be fair, when you look up close, you still can't even see the glitter, to be fair. If you know me, I hate things with glitter in. If I can really see it on my skin, I ain't gonna wear it. These e.l.f. ones, these are really affordable as well. I think they're like £5 or £6. Okay, let's talk about probably the most obvious one for this video. I'm gonna have to talk about Rare Beauty. Is that a fire alarm going off again? I swear there's someone around where I live that like burns their toast or burns something once a day, because this alarm goes off every single day. They need to learn how to cook. Anyway, let's talk about Rare Beauty. We have to. These are just, they're one of the best formulas I've ever used. From the packaging to the product itself, I just love them. So I wanted to mention the liquid blushes because I do really love these. The main thing I love about the Rare ones is just the different shades. Like they just have really unique shades and I always want more. But I also really like the melting blushes. So there's two options here because I feel like not everybody finds cream and liquids like that easy. Like some people might struggle with these. They are very, 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 very pigmented. So you really do have to go with a light hand and start off like with less. It is easy, very, very, very easy to mess up with these ones. So that's why I wanted to mention these ones as well. Because these ones I feel like are slightly underrated, to be honest. I feel like the liquid ones get a lot of attention and a lot of hype for good reason. They're amazing. But these are the melting blushes, I think they're called. I have the shade Nearly Neutral. Again, I want more shades because I love this formula. This one is, I'd say, it's not similar to the e.l.f. ones. I think people have said that these are like dupes for these. I genuinely don't think they are. I think the formulas are completely different. These ones are definitely more pigmented. These ones are more softer and I feel like they have more of a dewy finish. They're a lot more natural. The e.l.f. ones are more kind of harsh, not in a bad way, but like they're more pigmented and they're a lot more like, you can see the blush. These are very, very buildable and I'm pretty sure they made this formula so you literally can't even mess up with them. Love this for like a day-to-day. If you're in a rush, this is like the perfect kind of formula you want because you don't have time to be messing up if you put too much of one of these on. So I wanted to mention these because they are really good and I think they're underrated for Rare Beauty, to be honest. Okay, I feel like I don't need to talk about the Soft Pinch liquid blushes that much because I feel like they're just loved by a lot of people. But like I said, I really love the shade range of them. I have 4 different ones. Bliss used to be my favourite of them, I think, are matte, and then I think Happy is a dewy one, but I literally never know. I can never tell because my foundation and my base is always a bit glowy anyway, so I really can't tell. But these ones, like I said, they're very pigmented, so you do have to go in with a light hand, but they're so long lasting. The shade range is really, really good in these. You're not really going to run out of these. Like, I mean, actually you could if you used it every day, but you literally need the tiniest amount. I think they're definitely worth the money. They're a little bit pricier compared to the other two that I talked about, but honestly I think it's worth it. I've got Bliss, which is the lightest one that I have, and then I have my favorite shade, my most used shade, which surprisingly is a bright pink, but this one's called Happy. I honestly love this. I also love mixing Bliss and Happy together. I love that combination. And then we have a bit more of a deeper tones. We have Joy, which is like a nice, it's like a peachy orange, I'd say. This one's, it's quite bright. This is a really good summer shade. And then we have a deeper one that's called Love, which again, absolutely obsessed with. So yeah, I love these ones. I want to talk about, oh, quickly, also, I wanted to mention the Made by Mitchell blush. This one I wanted to mention specifically because this is such a unique shade. This one's called Cold Heart. Oh my god, I love this. But this shade is just something else. It's that like blue undertoned, like pink, like that baby doll. People call it like the Kylie Jenner kind of pink. Like, I love this, and I never thought I would like a pink like this, but it's so nice. And I feel like, honestly, as soon as I put it on my skin tone, I was like, okay, I was wrong, because I thought this was only going to look good on like lighter skin tones. This on deep skin will look so good. Like, I honestly love this. Comparing the formula to like the liquid blushes from Rare, I'd say that the Made by Mitchell ones are less pigmented in terms of, I think they're a bit, this one's a bit more liquidy than the Rare ones. This one's more saturated in pigment, so these ones are slightly easier to blend, but they are still very pigmented, but the consistency is a bit more watery than the Rare ones. So that's pretty much the only difference, I think. But I love this one. These ones last a really long time as well, so. Okay, we just have 2 more brands to talk about and then we are done. I wanted to mention Refy because in general I feel like Refy is such an underrated brand. Their cream blushes, oh, so nice. I mean, I've only got the one. Again, I need more shades. I'm gonna say that about all of these. Also, I love the packaging. Like, this is so cute. I do wish it was slightly bigger, to be honest. Like, the bronzers are like normal, like compact sizes. This is very small because I've almost hit pan on this. I've already hit pan on the bronzer, but then again, I do use them quite a lot. But anyway, this is my favorite shade, like, out of all of them that I've seen. This one is Citrine. It's just a really nice, like, warm, it's like a warm orange. This one is very pigmented, so this one is another one that you kind of need to build up slowly because it can be very pigmented, but it's so easy to blend. I like to blend this out with my fingers, to be fair, sometimes. I feel like that's something I should have mentioned as well. All of them, to be honest, I like blending out with brushes. That's just how I do it. My favourite brush for liquid and creams in terms of blush is the Fenty face brush. That is like my favourite. But this one I do like tapping out like with my fingers. I feel like it just works really well. The formula is really like soft and just melts in with the skin. And I love this shade so much. They came out with this really deep cherry one because I think everyone just needed a really deep cherry. I'm waiting to buy that. Really nice formula. I feel these last a long time as well for like being a cream. And yeah, obsessed. These leave you very dewy, by the way. So again, if you're someone with oily skin, maybe you might want a powder, like definitely over top. But I think in terms of the Rare ones and the Made by Mitchell ones, the Rare Beauty, they have matte ones and then they have dewy ones, so you can obviously pick whichever. These ones I think are pretty matte, to be honest. Alright, and then the last ones, of course, we gotta talk about Fenty, of course. So these were probably also like one of the first like cream blushes that I tried. I don't know how I only ever bought 2 shades. These are the 2 that I bought when they first launched. My most used one out of the 2 is actually, surprisingly, the one that I thought I would use least out of them both. These are the 2 that I have. I have Rose Latte, which is this one here. It's just, I mean, just look at that shade. Just look at that. I feel like this is kind of, it doesn't look like it in the pan, but this is like the cream blush version of Toasted Cinnamon for me. It's slightly a bit darker, but when you blend it out, it blends out a bit lighter. So this is like the cream blush of Toasted Cinnamon, I think. I think that's why I love it so much, but this is definitely my most used one. I love this. And then my other shade that I thought that would be my most used one is the shade Fuego Flush. This one does have a glitter in it, but again, it's so fine you can't really see it. I feel like the only time you can really see it is if you're like directly like in the sun. Again, gives you a really nice glow. And these ones I think are less pigmented, but they can be, you can really build these up, and these ones are so easy to blend as well. I really, really love how they blend. I think out of all the formulas, I'd probably say the Fenty one's my favourite. Yeah, I think the Fenty is my favourite formula. Like, just how they blend is just, I don't know how they do it. And then I wanted to mention this one because I think this is a limited edition one, but this is their double cheeked up Freestyle Cream Blush Duo. So if this is still available, I think if you're into these shades, definitely something to get. Because you get 2 blushes in here, and I love mixing these together. I love wearing them alone. This one kind of looks like Happy. from Rare, but I love mixing them together. They're so good, and it's the same formula as these two. So yeah, this is definitely something worth getting. I wanted to mention it because, like I said, it might be a limited edition thing. I don't know, the packaging was different, and this is the usual size, so I don't know, but I love this shade so much. And that is it. That is everything. That's all 6 brands that I wanted to talk about. And we have come to an end. How long have I been filming for? I don't think it's been that too long. Is it for the video, so I hope you enjoyed. Like I said in the intro, let me know your favourite cream and liquid blushes. I'd love to try more. I want the drugstore to do more. That's what I want this year. I really want the drugstore to just like go crazy, because I feel like it's always e.l.f. to be honest. Out of all the brands, I feel like it's always e.l.f. doing this. Like NYX needs to do something epic, you know? Anyway, I'll put it out there. Hopefully we can receive something. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, let me know your like liquid and cream favorites. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.